Good morning, my dear brothers and sisters. If I were to teach homiletics or how to give a homily to seminarians studying for the priesthood, I would use our gospel today because preachers and teachers can learn a lot of strategies from Jesus. First, we see Jesus employing a technique that is simple and understandable to keep people's attention. A technique we call parables, from the Greek parabole, which means to throw alongside, meaning to give some sort of comparison or to juxtapose two things for the purpose of comparison. And why would he do this? Well, to make it more understandable and to keep people's attention. We take into consideration the setting of our gospel today. A very large crowd gathered around him, and he was on a boat. In short, they were by the sea, on the shore, in an outdoor setting, in an open air where they could be distracted by so many things, like how we could be distracted by the airplanes and the birds and the sound of an ambulance whenever we do outdoor masses, if you have gone to one of them. Therefore, the first essential consideration was to make them interested, to get them glued to him. Thus, he used a parable to make it clear, understandable, easier to grasp. Jesus knew that the surest way to awaken people's interest was to tell them stories, and Jesus knew that. But notice that even if Jesus simplifies things and makes it more understandable, he still makes his listeners think. And this is what's amazing with Jesus. Through his parables, he compels his listeners to make their own deduction. He does not do the thinking for them. He makes them think. He makes them analyze things. You parents know that the worst way to help a child is to do his work for him. It does not help him at all to do his assignments, to write his essay, to solve his math problems. But it does help greatly if he does it himself with just the right amount of guidance and help, which, by the way, hopefully parents are doing in this time of online classes. It is tempting for parents to just do it for their children so that they could have high grades. But really, that is not helping your child, for that does not benefit at all your child. That is cheating. And you are cheating not the teacher, but yourself. But this is the genius of Jesus. He made his preaching understandable by using familiar and concrete analogies, but he did not save them from the mental sweat of thinking. He made them think. He did not wish to make their minds lazy. He wished to make their minds active. In short, he encouraged them to do their own thinking. Because when truth is discovered through their own efforts, it would be natural and, in fact, easier for them to own it and embrace it forever. Perhaps right now you are wishing that your priest can preach like Jesus. Simple, clear, concrete, thought-provoking, like how Jesus was in the gospel today. But perhaps it would also be good to see how Jesus wanted his listeners to become. He wanted them to think. He encouraged them to do their own research and reflection. He did not want their minds to be lazy. He wanted them to actively reflect on his words. Jesus teaches and preaches, but he does not spoon feed his listeners. He leaves some space for them to dig deeper into the truth. And that is what we must do as listeners of today. Amen.